Guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews and welcome to episode 4 of our weekly show Sides, where we look at all things NXT 205 and Mixed Match Challenge. On the show we just give quick reviews, what our thoughts are, and pretty much it's just a longer review episode with all the side shows from WWE. So with no hesitation, let's get started. First show we're going to look at tonight is 205 Live, and since Triple H has taken over creative control, you can definitely see a huge difference in the production of the matches. And the first match we had tonight was Murphy, a former NXT Tag Team Champion, taking on Daivari, a Cruiserweight who's been there since the Cruiserweight Classic. Now this for me was a smart booking decision. Daivari is a strong enough heel to make Murphy look good, but it also allowed Murphy to get a little bit more in-ring performance time. Murphy hasn't been seen in the ring on TV for some time, and it definitely did show in his first match. He did make a few mistakes, but on a whole, it was a good match for him to come into. And let's be honest, Daivari performed really well. His facial expressions when he didn't get the pins were exactly what you want to see in a mid-card heel, and he did that absolutely brilliantly. So for me, the first match itself, no complaints. It's very standard, but it's good to see Murphy get his first win in his new division since moving from NXT. So no complaints. Part of the show we got was Drake Maverick revealing the quarterfinal brackets for the 205 Cruiserweight Championship Tournament, and this was quite interesting. We saw quite a few matches which I thought would possibly be the finals, but no, we're definitely going to get them sooner than I expected. TJP and Cedric Alexander are one which I thought could be a possible tournament final, but for me it's interesting to see that they're going to be taking each other on next week. Both competitors were in the room with Drake Maverick when he announced these quarterfinal matchups, and both men cut a decent promo from each other. TJP's definitely got a good heel promo work now, and he feels a little bit more serious than he has done since the previous 205 administration. But I'll have to give Cedric Alexander, I hope the guy does get to the finals, but for me he's one of the best cruiserweights on the show. I'm not taking anything away. I think the cruiserweights are finally being allowed to be cruiserweights, are definitely improving in a hell of a faster style, and it's become a better show since Drake Maverick's taken over as GM. 205 was a tag team match, which was the Lucha Underground Party, I think they're calling themselves, faction, which involves Gran, Metalik, Dorado and Kalisto, taking on some local talent. The tag team match was Dorado and Metalik teaming up, but it was a different type of local talent type of match. They actually allowed the talent to take some offensive on with the superstars, and you don't usually see that, and it was a different type of match in my opinion. You knew they were going to lose, but they actually made them feel different, and the commentators were actually calling them by their names, which you don't often see. They usually just go, who cares, they're going to get squashed anyway. And Evan Daniels, who was the guy in the red tights for this match, was black and orange tights, actually got more offensive. He felt like he deserved to be in the 205 Cruiserweight locker room than any other talent. I was quite surprised. I actually thought he was on the roster when he was performing. I was like, hold on, is this guy actually on 205? Had a look, he's not, he's a local talent, but it was definitely something different. This moves us on to our main event for 205, and for me it was the match of the night on the Cruiserweight tournament. It was just brilliant. It was Mustafa Ali taking on Gentleman Jack, and it was exactly what I was hoping to see. It had all the high flying moves I wanted to see, reversals exactly what I want to see, and a great brawl between the two guys. They just showed a whole full range what the cruiserweight division's all about. If you showed someone who's never watched a cruiserweight match before and you show them this match, you're definitely showing them the best of 205 right now. And these two definitely inherit that moniker. Mustafa Ali is just absolutely brilliant in the ring or in the air. He's great, and same with Gentleman Jack. He doesn't hold himself down to just being a on the ring kind of wrestler. He can do high fly moves as well, and his reversals are probably one of the best and unique kind of reversal techniques I've seen a cruiserweight superstar perform. So for me, it was brilliant. Mustafa Ali getting the win was a good result in its own. But I've got to give Gentleman Jack his dues. He absolutely outperformed himself last night on 205. So for me, both guys, brilliant. It was a good show, and it's great to see this next stage of the 205 tournament. The show we're looking at is the Mixed Match Challenge, and tonight's episode had Team Nia Jax and Apollo from Titus Worldwide, who was, if you watched their entrance, it was absolutely hilarious. Like, Titus Worldwide annoyed Nia Jax from the start, and she just gave them all dirty looks like, why are you pestering me? Leave me alone, let me win this match so I can go home. And Apollo, being a happy-go-lucky guy, was smiling and laughing, and you could tell Nia hated that. And then we had the team they were taking on, who is, for me, the favourites to win this whole Mixed Match Challenge, Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair, or as they like to call themselves, the Robe Warriors. Now, I like that. I think that's quite clever. And those two have had some brilliant chemistry backstage as well. Bobby Roode's showing Charlotte how to do the glorious bit, and she's trying to show him how to woo. Woo! Because apparently Bobby Roode does not know how to woo properly. I am surprised. But it was a great entrance for Charlotte and Bobby, because it was just like, yes, this is like the ultimate Ric Flair tribute band right now, and it was great to see. And the match itself was not a long match. It was very, very quick. It was about 10 minutes long, but it definitely showed different aspects for each character. Nia Jax came off looking like a very strong heel, which they needed to do in this kind of match, because she's got Elimination Chamber on Sunday, which is good to see. They're still continuous, but they allowed Bobby and Charlotte to have a little bit more fun, and that was good to see as well. Don't get me wrong, Nia looks very strong against Charlotte, but Charlotte definitely showing that she's the queen of women's wrestling in WWE right now. And Bobby Roode just looked at another level compared to Apollo. I hate to say it, Apollo looked the weakest out of all of them, but for me, each team are fighting for good points, so I can't complain too much. The match itself was nothing special, but the entertainment factors were from the wrestlers interacting with each other. So that moves us on to NXT for this week, and we started off with the Velveteen Dream taking on No Way Jose, and I am really upset that No Way Jose lost. He's one of my favourite mid-card NXT stars. I haven't seen him on the show for a while, and don't get me wrong, I like the Velveteen Dream. I think it's a great concept, and I think the guy who plays him is brilliant. But I was just like, oh yeah, I haven't seen no way. Oh, and he's lost. It was a quick match. They're definitely building up the Velveteen Dream, which they should do. He's very, very young. He's only been wrestling for 2 years, but he's just, every time you see him in the ring, he's just improving by leaps and bounds, and I cannot wait to see what he does at his next NXT takeover, because I think he's going to steal the show again. But No Way Jose, no complaints. I love just seeing him on TV, so I'm not too angry. We had an announcement from the GM of NXT, William Regal, announcing that in 2 weeks' time we will have the return of the Dusty Rhodes Classic Tag Team match, and I'm really excited for this tournament. I really do enjoy the Dusty Rhodes Classic, but he said that the winners of the tournament this year will also be in line to take on the NXT Tag Team Champions at TakeOver New Orleans, which I think is a smart move on WWE's behalf, because it means that this tournament actually means something a little bit extra. Usually they don't do anything like this in the last two, but the teams who usually win it do kind of go on to take on the NXT champions at some point. This is on to our next match on NXT, and that was Nikki Cross taking on Vanessa Borne. And again, a very quick match, and you could definitely see who WWE are trying to build up again, and that was Nikki Cross. For me, she is very much ready to go onto the main roster, and I can't wait to see when she does, because I think she would absolutely tear it apart on both Raw and SmackDown. Do we want her to move away from Sanity? No way. I think when Sanity get moved up to either the Raw or SmackDown, she has to go with them, because she's truly unique element to that team. But I'm not taking anything away from Vanessa. She did quite well in the ring, but we can definitely tell there's a huge difference in talent when you look at how much time Nikki Cross has had in the industry compared to Vanessa, and that definitely showed in this match. So this moves us on to our main event of the night, and that was Johnny Gargano taking on Cien Almas. Winner would become the new NXT champion, but if Gargano lost, he would have to leave NXT for good. Now, I was really nervous and excited to see this match, because one, it has to live up to the NXT TakeOver Philadelphia match, which was a very decent match in its own. And then we also had to live up to, if Johnny Gargano loses, he's out of NXT, and for me, he is right now the biggest babyface on NXT. And what a match they had! It was from start to finish. You didn't know which way it was gonna go until the very, very end, and that was just like, oh my god, what have I just seen kind of match. Both men just outperformed what I've seen beforehand, and to be honest, it was so close to being as good as TakeOver Philadelphia. I was like, oh my god. But this is a great conclusion for their rivalry. Now, spoiler alert, Johnny Gargano did not win. His former NXT tag team partner, Ciampa, attacked him when he was trying to submit Cien Almas. Because of his attack and the referee being knocked out at the time, Cien managed to get the pinfall, and that meant that Johnny Gargano had to leave NXT. And I was very, very much heartbroken at seeing this scene. And you could tell the NXT universe was in absolute shock with this result. Now, we don't know what's going to happen, but I definitely can't wait to see if Johnny Gargano is going to get moved up straight away now to both either SmackDown or Raw, or is he going to go on to the Cruiserweight division? Don't know. But for me, or is this just a workup to take over New Orleans, where he takes on his former partner? Who knows? It's just, there's so many questions and there's so little answers. It's just question after question. I just want to find out sooner rather than later. And there you go, guys. That was just WWE Sides for this week. As you could tell, there was a lot of very strong matches on all shows. Yes, the Road Warriors, I just love what they did on Mixed Match Challenge. I love the chemistry Charlotte and Bobby Roode have. There's a great backstage interview they did. Check it out. It's on the WWE Network. It's funny as hell. Mustafa Ali and Gentleman Jack Gallagher just absolutely stole the show on 205. Murphy, welcome to 205. You definitely look like you're in the right place in your career now to be there. And Cien and Gargano, what can I say? It's like the end of that rivalry is just so surprising, and just the way it ended, it was a shock value match in my opinion. But yeah, there's more questions than answers right now for NXT, but I can't wait to find out. And there you go, guys. If you do like our episodes, please like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please, subscribe, guys. It would be great to have any suggestions in the comments below. And if you want to follow me on the old Twitter, I'm at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.